surprised by the way that game went at all? Just the ease of it?
Not surprised. Our guys prepared. So when you prepare to win, we prepared to come out and play fast right off the bat, and our guys did that and came out and executed. It's always a positive as a coach when you prepare a certain way and then your guys go out and execute it.
What did you see that had you the type of game plan you put in for the running game? What did you see that made you go in there thinking we're just going to pound the ball?
Well, they did a lot of things differently defensively throughout the course of the season. A lot of different types of blitzes, a lot of different types of stunts up front. So we wanted to simplify it for us up front. We went to a little bit more of a gap scheme so that any movement, any pressure that they gave us, we could just gap them down, and our guys could run straight downhill. We told the running backs all week we were going to run downhill right at them. We were going to take one cut and run north, and at the end of the play, hand the ball to the official, and they did that.
Talk about the evolution of that running game. What is, how has it developed into what it's become?
Well, we have consistency. We have consistency with the linemen right now. I mean, the last 5 or 6 games, we've had the same 5 guys playing up front, which is critical. Our running backs understand the run game. Quez is executing the reads. He's getting us in and out of plays at the right time, so he understands the offense. So all those components are coming together. And, we've done some good things, in the past few weeks. It was just when we weren't taking care of the football, it didn't look as good. But we're taking care of the football better, and so now we're getting the results.
What does it mean for running game when you add that quarterback component into it?
Oh, it's huge because now the defense has to account for him, So oftentimes defensively they're trying to add an extra guy defensively to the run fit. And when you add the quarterback in, you equal out the numbers. And so, and you have a guy like Quez that is smart enough to run it, tough enough, and athletic enough to add that component at a high level.
So you're on your way to becoming a service academy or a Georgia Tech?
No, we have a lot of areas to clean up. We felt like we really felt we left some run game out there in that game. We had an opportunity for a few other big plays. We needed to finish them off a little bit better at the end of the game in the run game. And, we evaluated ourselves as a staff. And even our second team guys got to come in there and be ready to go. And they got to be ready to execute as the next line in. So, no, and obviously, we have some things that we had to clean up in the pass game. We had some opportunities on 3rd and long. Could have continued some drives there in the pass game. We didn't execute as well as we need to.
Where was your confidence level with the pass game if you need it? Obviously there are times you may need that.
Well, we have to have more consistency there, whether it's throwing, catching, throwing it, being in the right spot on the route, those types of things. So we got to do a great job of that. Our guys came out yesterday. We had a quick workout yesterday, and we focused on some of those things. So we need to improve there.
Was there a point in the game where you kind of looked at, I guess yourself, you don't call the plays, and saying, we don't have to throw the ball, we don't have to call a pass the rest of the game, just keep pounding it?
Well, you go with what works. I wanted to keep our foot on the pedal. I told our guys we were going to, no matter what the score, no matter what the situation, we're going to play extremely hard. And, I told them all week, don't think about the scoreboard. We're going to think about pursuing excellence in whatever situation it was. So, at some point there at the end, we said, hey, the running game is working, so we're going to stay with that. So, in the 4th quarter, you didn't have to do as much. I wanted to throw the ball a little bit. We tried to throw a couple quick screens with Greg because I wanted Greg to go in and try to throw the football a little bit. But, and that was the reason, it was stated that was my inexperience of the trick plays. But that really is my experience because I told those guys we're going to play aggressively, we're going to play to win. And people had been ganging up on our punt protection and our field goal protection all year. We hadn't run a fake all year. And so, we thought we had the fake. We just didn't execute it as well as we need to. But our guys need to know that I'm going to call those things, and they need to be ready to execute it. And you know, we're going to play aggressively no matter what the score is.
Disappointed? It looked like you put Fortner back in to try and get him to 100, and then weren't able to pull that off. A little disappointed there? Or?
Yeah, we tried to get 300-yard rushers there for him. He came in and he's done a great job the last 2 weeks. Try to reward him a little bit, reward the offensive linemen. That's something they take great pride in. So, yeah, we tried to get that there at the end.
How's Jay?
He's fine. He just got poked in the eye. So we're going to go to all shields now because we've had 2 guys poked in the eye. So
Who else?
Brandon Bryant was poked in the eye just in practice, but those guys will be fine.
And Wallace?
He's progressing. He was a lot better yesterday in practice, so I'm expecting to get him back early to midweek.
Is this, Brian, gonna be is this the team's identity now moving forward? Is the way you ran, the way you ran the ball, as many times you ran the ball, with the run to pass ratio you had, is that a little bit more than you want, or do you see this as being your identity?
Our identity is pursuing excellence and winning, and whatever it takes to win. In that game, it was to run the football, and from the very beginning, we said we were going to run the football and we were going to play up-tempo. That's how we practiced. Our guys did a great job coming out and playing that way. So in that football game, we were able to run the ball, so we were going to stick with what's working to help us win. So if we have to go out and throw the ball to win, then we need to be ready to execute that as well. But, you know, overall, for me, you got to be balanced. I mean, they got to defend the run and the pass both ways. But again, whatever's working, whatever we need to win, be our identity.
On teams, did you expect Saturday and a week from Friday that after what they saw, they're going to gang up on the run, aren't they? So that's what you're saying. You've got to be ready.
Well, you know, yeah. I mean, most of the time, a team's going to say, "Hey, we need to be able to run the football to win," and defensively, you need to stop the run to win. So. Everybody's going to try to stop the run first, you know. But I think they've been trying to do that for the last few weeks because we've shown we can run the football.
What is it that you like about the trick play in general?
Well, it keeps teams honest. Like I said, people have been ganging up on our field goal protection all year long because we haven't run a fake, and so they get to bring all the blitzers. They get to bring them as they pin their ears back and they come fast. And so we need to take a little bit of heat. It's like throwing a screen or a play action pass when you're on offense. And again, it's a little of a sense of urgency for our football team that I don't care what the score is, what the situation is. If I think that's the best play call at that moment, that's what we're going to go with. And so I wanted our guys to be on alert, to be ready to execute it. As in anything, you want balance on offense. You need some balance on special teams. You need to leave some uncertainty out there for the guys defending.
I guess meant offensively in general. You've done the last few weeks. It seems like you've tried one a game where receivers are throwing passes or end around type stuff. Do you try to work with at least one into a game to keep them back?
Yeah, we go in. You know, from the start of the season, we've probably had 3 or 4 that you practice every week, and then each week you add 1 or 2. Typically 1 for that week, and you keep practicing them until you get them called. But again, the guys have fun with it. It's something that the guys have fun. It's something that we implement on Thursday practice. I wanted to keep Greg involved in the offense. He's done a tremendous job preparing every week, getting better every week, and he's a very talented guy. So wanted to give him an opportunity to make a play, and we were very close there to making that play.
What's it like on the sideline when you call that play, when you know something? Do you have to kind of keep your poker face on, or like, what do you go through when you call those kinds of plays?
I got to keep the guys quiet because then they start yelling, "Oh, here it comes!" You know, they get excited, so we got to make sure that the opponents don't hear that. But hopefully, I have the same face when I call it.
Do you have a poker face practice on Thursday too, where the sideline's quiet?
No, we don't. We haven't started that yet. No, but hopefully I look excited calling all the plays, so they can't tell which ones are the trick plays.
You're now one more game closer to, pulling off what you attempted to when you were 3, I guess when you needed the last 4 wins, I think. As you get closer, is there excitement building? Do you want that? Do you need to keep and say, look, still still one more, then there's one more, and then we can celebrate if we win our last 2 games? How are you handling that with them?
You know, we have focused on pursuing excellence and being the best that we can be. So it won't change this week. I mean, we have to stay focused on the game that's this week. That's our only chance of success. I think if we start thinking about the future, or thinking about down the road, to me that's too many things to focus on. We got to focus on being the best, having our best week of practice this week, so that we have a chance, so that we do keep our hopes and our dreams alive. So, and our guys have done a tremendous job of doing that. We've met as a team every morning to remind them of that, to give them examples of that, of other teams or other people that have been able to, you know, keep those goals, keep that mission in perspective. And so we remind them of that every day.
But doesn't it make it more, our practices, there's more to the practices and the kids are more excited when you're practicing with 6 losses instead of 7? I mean, it's out there. If you had 7 losses, I mean, like there's 2 games left, the season's over, but with only 6 losses, has that at least kept?
Yeah, certainly.
Practice more, you know, there's more to it.
Yeah, certainly. Like I said, when you have hope,
yeah,
then there's a lot to play for, and we still have hope. So yeah, those guys are committed to working hard. But our guys want to prove something else too. They want to prove that they can play and they can win, and that they can be a positive story for FAU. So I think there's even more to it right now, more of a mission for them to finish the season and every opportunity they have. Our seniors only have 2 opportunities left now, and guaranteed opportunities. And so I think they want to prove a point each Saturday right now, that they can play football at a high level.
About the job Christian Milstead did?
You know, it's funny. I just had Friday night, actually Saturday before the game, I had said, you know, for the last 3 weeks, obviously I've been watching the defense a lot more closely. And Christian Milstead was a guy that I just saw going about his business, working hard in practice every day, doesn't say a whole lot, just continued to work and prepare. And because of that, I asked him to speak to the team before the game on Saturday. And then he goes out and gets 2 interceptions and returns 1 for a touchdown at a critical moment in that game. And so, again, his hard work paid off.
Seems like Martin Wright has also come on pretty strong these last couple games. Is that what you're seeing?
You know, I noticed all those guys up front putting heat, you know, on Mullins that entire game. I mean, they got after that QB the entire game, and you know, whether it was Corey Henry or Brandon Bryan or Martin, and even some of those young guys got in there. Trey got in there and got a sack. I mean, even the young guys went in there and were playing extremely hard. But Martin, you know, he's a senior and he's down to the end of his guaranteed games here, so he's playing extremely hard, given everything he has.
What have you seen from New Mexico State?
I see an offense that's extremely explosive. They've scored at least 34 points a game in their last 3 games. They've had a very difficult schedule. They have some very explosive guys and some weapons on offense. They score a lot of points. Defensively, they're very sound. They play hard. You know, and their special teams play hard too. You know, they've had a tough schedule, and you know, they have Boston College 34-34 with 5 minutes to go, and Boston College pinned at their own 5-yard line at the end of that football game. And you know, New Mexico State has a penalty there to get it to 1st and 5, and then Boston College hits a big run to win the game. But I mean, they're playing good football. We're playing another team right now that, you know, on tape when you watch them, you would not think they're a 1-win football team.
Do you have to worry about maybe you're on this roll now? You got past Southern Miss and you got FIU coming up. Maybe looking past these guys, or is it too much survival mode?
I think it's too much survival mode. I mean, last week we had 3. Now we have 4 wins, so we're not into that mode to me at all. Our guys, like I said, are on a mission each week to play their best football. We talked about to the guys again. We left some plays out there last week, And so what are we going to do to get those fixed, and so we can still yet play our best football game in all three phases.
Good to be off the road.
It is. It is. It'd be great to be back home. Be great to play in front of our fans and our students. Looking forward to seeing the biggest crowd of the year there this week. We need everybody. We want our story to be everyone's story here within FAU. So I'm excited to see everybody come out and support our guys, and for all of us to come out and you know, I told the guys we finished chapter 2 of our story last week, and now we're focused on chapter 3. We want everybody to be a part of that chapter.
Ryan, Damian Fortner's had a resurgence since you've come into the helm. What has he done on the practice field to get him that playing time, and what are you seeing out there on the field from him?
Well, I'm very proud of Damian. He was in my doghouse at the beginning of the year. I questioned his commitment, but he proved that he just came out to practice every single day, worked hard, kept a positive attitude, and I think really to prove me wrong. And he continued to work, and when his opportunity came, you know, against Tulane, and then he had more opportunity this week, because he's prepared, because he had the right attitude, he's been able to perform at a high level now when we called upon him.
Depending on Jonathan's health, but clearly you have 2 backup running backs.
Yes.
That can carry the load almost single-handedly if need be. How much of an asset is that, and how much do you plan to utilize that in these final 2 weeks?
I think it's huge. I mean, you can never go into a game with just one, or into a season with one running back. And so we've been fortunate to have really 4 guys contribute for us back there that we can count on. And so that's just critical. And then we're counting on the run game so heavily right now, and to have those numbers right there help us.
Has Jay Warren, if his eyes okay, obviously,
Yeah, he'll be fine.
earned the right to more carries if Jonathan's back in the lineup on Saturday?
No, I think it just you go with who's on a streak and who gets hot. I think all those guys have earned the right for more reps. But Jay, we've been excited about Jay since day one, and he just keeps proving to be the player that we recruited. So excited about him, and I'm excited about all those guys.
I know you haven't had time to think about it, but is there sort of a back of the mind fear that even if you guys do get bowl eligible, that there might not be a bowl game, considering all the teams that have 6 wins already?
We only can control what we control right now, and that is to win this week. I have no fear of that. I think that we handle business that we need to handle on our side of things, and control the things that we can control. We'll see what happens.